Today, we're jumping into a really powerful moral fable. It's a story about a whole community pushed to the edge. One guy's incredible greed, and, well, what happens when people decide to take justice into their own hands. Let's dive right in.
Okay, so picture this, the village of Jampur. For them, winter isn't just, cold. It's a full-on curse. We're talking about a brutal, life-threatening freeze that just descends and covers everything. For the people there, and for their animals, just making it through the day is a massive struggle. All right, so a winter of desperation. This is where our story really kicks off. And you'll see, a crisis like this, it doesn't just test who you are. It can actually be the perfect petri dish for greed to grow.
And here he is. Meet our antagonist, Mitha, the guy who owns the shelter. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't a disaster, my dear. This is the season for a big score. I mean, while everyone else is panicking, seeing a total disaster, he's rubbing his hands together thinking about profit. It's just so cynical.
Now you have to understand, Mitha's shelter is literally the only safe place in the whole village. It's the one spot with a fire, the one place where the animals won't freeze to death overnight. So he's got this total monopoly on survival, and believe me, he knows exactly how to use that power.
So, the price of shelter. Yeah, he doesn't waste a single second. Mitha basically turns the villagers' desperation into his own personal ATM. So here's how he does it. It's simple, but it's just so cruel. A farmer, totally desperate, comes up begging to let his cow inside. Mitha just shakes his head, says, sorry, the shelter's full, no more room. But here's the thing. It's a complete lie. As you can see, there's plenty of space in there.
So, now that he's created this fake demand, he hits him with the price. And it's not the normal 2,000 rupees. No, it's 10,000. That's 5 times the usual rate. This isn't just charging a little extra. This is straight up extortion. He is banking on this farmer's terror of his cow freezing to death.
And the villagers reply, man, it just says everything you need to know. I'll pay it. I have to. Just let my cow inside. There's no arguing, no haggling. He's totally trapped. This moment just perfectly shows you the power dynamic here. The villagers have zero leverage. They are completely at Mitha's mercy.
Okay, but just gouging a few people isn't enough for Mitha. Oh no, his greed is about to go to a whole new level. He's cooking up a devious plan to betray the entire village.
So, let's look at Mitha's little heist. It's pretty devious, but also kinda simple when you break it down. Step 1, get all the village animals into his shelter, pretending he's keeping them safe. Step 2, every single night, have his employees secretly move the animals to a hidden shelter out in the forest. Step 3, put on a big show, pretend that thieves broke in and stole them all, and then, Step 4, the big finale, sell all those stolen animals and make a massive profit. Wow.
But there's always a wrench in the works, right? And in this case, it's his employee, Bittu. Bittu hears the plan, and he's just horrified. He immediately calls it out. But Master, this is wrong. This is a great injustice to the people. He's really the moral compass of this whole story.
And how does Mia respond? Pure manipulation. He doesn't try to reason with Bittu, he just threatens him. He basically says, do it or you're fired. And getting fired in the middle of this brutal winter, that means his family would starve. So, stuck between a rock and a hard place, Bittu, he agrees.
And just like that, the plan is in motion. You can just imagine the scene. Night after night, the shelter gets emptier and emptier. First a few animals are gone, then more, then it's nearly empty. It's this slow, creeping dread building up, until that final night when the very last cow is led away.
The next morning, the villagers are just devastated. Their animals are gone. They all rush to Mitha, who of course plays dumb. And this one grieving elder, his words just hit you right in the gut. My only cow is gone. I might as well die. How can you be so cruel? You have to remember, for these people, their animals are everything. It's their entire livelihood. And Mitha just standing there pretending he's clueless, it's just the cruelest thing imaginable.
All right, so this is it. This is the turning point. A conscience awakens. Because seeing all that raw pain and suffering up close, it's just too much for one person. The guilt finally boils over, and it leads to a decision that's going to change absolutely everything. So Bittu, just eaten up by guilt, goes home and tells his wife everything. And her response, it's really the core message of the whole story. She tells him, it's better to be hungry than to earn the curses of those you've wronged. She's saying that integrity is worth more than money,
And those words are exactly what Bitu needed to hear.
And that's it. That's the moment. With his wife's words ringing in his ears, Bitu decides to make it right. He's done being a part of the lie. He's going to stand with the villagers.
So what does he do? He runs out of his house and sees that same elder, the one who lost his cow, walking towards the river to end it all. Bitu runs, he stops him, and he tells him everything, the whole plan, where the animals are hidden, everything. And in that one moment, he doesn't just save one man's life, he gives hope back to the entire village.
And that brings us to our final act, justice in the forest. Now that they know the truth, the villagers don't run to the police. Nope. They decide they're going to deliver their own kind of justice. The plan is simple. The elder gets all the villagers together and they head to that hidden shelter in the forest. They find their animals and then they just melt into the darkness and they wait.
Right on cue, Mitha shows up. He's got this big smile on his face, he's feeling great, totally confident he's about to make a fortune. He has absolutely no idea what's waiting for him in the shadows. It just makes what's about to happen so much better.
And then the trap is sprung. The villagers step out of the dark. They surround him, and you can just imagine the look on Mitha's face. Total shock, total terror. The tables have completely turned. He's caught, and his whole greedy plan has fallen apart.
So what's the verdict? This is what's so interesting. They don't call the cops, they don't beat him up. Their justice is something different. They tell him, you will not leave. You will stay here and clean the filth of the animals you stole from us. It's a symbolic punishment, right? The greedy man forced to do the most humbling job imaginable. The punishment perfectly fits the crime.
And this whole story leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on. When a whole community is wronged, what does true justice actually look like? Is it locking someone up? Or is it something more, more about accountability and restoring the balance that was broken? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for digging into this story with us.